a billionaire CEO came home without warning and froze when she saw what the janitor was doing. Wait. Before you skip, this story might just change how you look at people forever. If you believe in second chances, if you think kindness still exists in this world, stay with me till the end. And if this story touches your heart even a little, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. We bring you stories that matter. Now, let's begin. It was well past midnight when Eleanor Hart, the CEO of Hart Industries and one of the youngest billionaires in the world, stepped into her corporate headquarters in downtown New York. She wasn't supposed to be there. In fact, no one was. Her flight had landed early from Tokyo, and a sudden impulse brought her straight to work. Maybe it was jet lag. Maybe it was her mind refusing to switch off after a 72-hour business marathon. She expected silence. Emptiness. But the soft hum of music from the top floor caught her attention. Curious and annoyed, she tiptoed toward the executive lounge. This floor was supposed to be locked after 8 p.m. Security was going to hear about this. As she neared the glass hallway overlooking the city skyline, she saw him. A man, probably in his late 50s, standing in front of the huge wall-sized window. His gray uniform gave him away instantly, janitor. But what he was doing stopped her in her tracks. He wasn't mopping. He wasn't cleaning. He was dancing. Alone. Lost in the rhythm. His eyes were closed, his face calm, almost joyful. A mop handle in his hand like a dance partner. The old stereo on the side played a jazz tune from decades ago. Eleanor didn't move. She just watched. The CEO, known for her cold demeanor, famous for making billion-dollar decisions with zero emotion, stood frozen. Not in anger. Not in shock. But in awe. She recognized that dance. Her father used to do the exact same goofy spin when he thought no one was watching. Before life took him too soon. Before success made her hard. The janitor twirled, then abruptly stopped. He spotted her reflection. "Ma'am, I'm so sorry. I didn't know anyone was here." He fumbled to switch off the stereo. Eleanor stayed quiet for a moment. Then, in a voice far softer than her boardroom tone, she asked, "What's your name?" "Thomas. Thomas Gray." "Been working here 12 years, he said, nervously wringing his cap in his hands. "You always dance when no one's around, Thomas?" He chuckled shyly. "Not always. Just when the city's asleep. Helps me remember things I've tried not to forget." "Like what?" she asked, stepping closer. He hesitated. Then said, "My daughter. She used to dance with me before she passed. Cancer. 11 years old." The words struck her like lightning. Eleanor blinked rapidly, swallowing the lump rising in her throat. "I'm sorry," she whispered. Thomas smiled sadly. "No need. Dancing helps me keep her alive. Even if just in memory." Eleanor nodded. There was a silence between them. Not awkward. Just full. That night changed her. She didn't tell him who she was. She just said, "Thank you, Thomas," and walked away. But from that day on, she began noticing more. The small kindnesses that went unseen. The receptionist who brought coffee for the interns. The security guard who gave his umbrella to a soaked delivery boy. The junior developer who stayed late just to help a colleague meet her deadline. And most of all, Thomas. She began returning to the office unannounced, always late, always quiet. And every time, she saw him dancing. And slowly, she started smiling again. One night, weeks later, she brought her own stereo. The same jazz record. She placed it by the window before Thomas arrived. When he did, she stepped into the light. "May I join you this time?" His eyes widened in surprise. "You know the song?" She nodded. "My father used to dance to it. Just like you." They danced. Two strangers. bonded by grief, held together by memory. And in that moment, the billionaire and the janitor were just two humans healing. Eventually, she told him who she was. He laughed, shocked. "You're her? My boss's boss's boss?" She smiled. "Maybe. But not tonight." That winter, she did something unexpected. She launched a foundation, the Grey Hearts Initiative, named after Thomas's daughter and her own late father. Its mission? To recognize and uplift the invisible heroes of everyday life. Janitors, caregivers, drivers, cleaners. All the people who made the world turn without anyone noticing. Thomas became the face of the campaign. And Eleanor? She became something more than a CEO. She became a leader who felt again. At the annual company gala, Thomas stood on stage, tuxedo and all, nervous as ever. He looked at the crowd and said, "I was just a janitor. I danced to remember my daughter. I never thought anyone would care. But tonight, you've shown me that love never dies. It just finds new ways to keep dancing." Tears filled the room. Applause erupted. But none louder than Eleanor's. She had come home that night unannounced and found more than a man dancing. She had found a reason to feel again. If this story reminded you of someone who deserves to be seen, share this video with them. And if you believe that the world needs more compassion, more kindness, and more second chances, hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel. And never forget. Sometimes, the quietest people have the loudest stories to tell. Thank you for watching.